Never hire an admin again. Yes, you heard that right. And you might think, oh my gosh, Colin, that's ridiculous. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because honestly, I kind of feel that way too. Like hearing that, that's like a super like aggressive way to say that. And truthfully, one of the best hires I ever made was an admin gal. My first ever, her name was Virginia. She was amazing. But at the end of the day, my business has changed a lot and I will never hire an admin again. And let me explain what that means. So many people go and hire an admin position and pay them $15 to $25 an hour, right? Depending on where you live and cost of living and all that stuff, right? And what they expect this person to do is answer the phone when it rings and handle some clerical stuff, right? So let's just for round numbers say that this person makes $20 an hour and they're working 40 hours a week. They're making $800 per week to answer your phones. Now, when somebody hires this position, usually they hire them in the like $300,000 to $500,000 a year top line revenue range. So they hire them at that and then they keep them until, $700,000, $800,000. And then sometimes they're like, I gotta get two. Well, here's the deal. Here's the math behind this. If you're doing $500,000 a year, this varies per service, but let's say your average ticket is somewhere in like the $3,000 range, all right? You are not getting more than like 5 to 10 phone calls a day, all right? So what the heck else are you paying this person to do? Change the toilet paper in the bathroom? Like do a grocery run? Like chase some money? Like, okay, so they have to call maybe 10 other phone calls to collect some money. Like, what are you paying this person to do? Virginia was fantastic for me. She was really, really good and pivotal in like implementing a lot of our CRM, like automations and things like that. She was very good at that. She was not a typical office admin. I have since, she had a baby and she decided to be a stay-at-home mom and all this fun stuff, right? Amazing for her. And I still talk to her maybe once a year. We run into each other and connect and she's fantastic. But since then, I've gone through a handful of different admin people. And I will tell you that they spend 10 hours a week watching something stupid on their cell phones, whether that be TikToks, a movie, listening to audiobooks, like whatever it is. They are spending 10 hours a week on that dang cell phone while I'm paying them. All right. Now, I've gone and done many shop tours and seen how other businesses operate. And there's a very distinct difference between the guys doing $1 million plus months and the guys struggling to hit $1 million a year. When I'm talking about the admin, there's many differences in the whole business, but talking about this admin position solely, the small companies, their admin person, you walk in and you're an inconvenience to them. That's number one. And two, they are doing nothing to help generate revenue for the company. Nothing. They are answering phones, but that's it, right? That is my 7-year-old, well, she's 8 now. My 8-year-old daughter can do that and do that as well as most of these people, all right? They're doing nothing to actually drive revenue. They're booking appointments, but they're doing nothing to drive revenue. In the big $1 million+ per month companies, they don't have admin positions. They might have an office manager who oversees some stuff, like a legit manager who's not just like doing entry-level stuff, all right? A legit manager who is helping with payroll or helping like manage paid time off or, ordering of materials for the office or CRM guru, like whatever, all right? They might have an office manager, but they do not have an entry-level admin position like all of the small businesses do. And what they have instead are CSRs. And these CSRs have a low base wage, usually somewhere around minimum wage, all right? And then they are fully incentivized on booking more leads. Now, you might say, well, Colin, I'm only getting 5-10 calls a week, how is anybody gonna make any money? Well, I'll tell you exactly how, all right? So this is how we incentivize our CSRs now. We just made this shift 3 weeks ago, and it has been absolute gangbusters for us since. All right, we run a very, very, very like tight schedule. We have 6 sales reps, we have 2 CSRs, we have 1 office manager who's honestly like more of a general manager than an office manager. He kind of helps. He does a little bit of sales coordinating, scheduling it all out. But here's what we do. With our CSRs, they get paid a base salary. Now here in Michigan, minimum wage is $14 and some odd cents, right? So we pay $15 an hour, but then they get bonused on booking lead aggregator leads, the Angie's, the networks, the HomeU, HomeBuddy, like those leads, all right? So they get paid for booking those leads. They get paid for taking inbound calls and booking those. They get bonuses for confirming all decision makers will be there. They get a $10 bonus for just doing their job, all right? They get a $100 bonus if they get that customer pre-approved for financing before our sales rep ever shows up, all right? So we have tied all of these metrics to them booking more leads. We have one gal whose job it is to confirm all the appointments the day before, all right? So we usually are running like 3 to 4 days out on estimates. That's, sometimes we can squeeze someone in for 911 stuff or whatever, but 3 to 4 days out on estimates running 6 sales reps, all right? So we do not schedule with the sales rep. We schedule time slots, and then our sales coordinator, who is Lucas, the guy I said is office manager and does all sorts of other stuff, he schedules it the day before, and then the sales rep gets it the morning of, all right? So they don't know their schedule or who they're going to until the morning of. Now, the CSR's job is just to book it. So we have a gal whose lone job is to confirm all these appointments. You can do the math, all right? We run 10, 2, and 6 o'clock appointments with 6 different sales reps, all right? So 6 times 3, that's up to 18 appointments in a day that she has to confirm. Now, average, like not everybody runs 3 every single day. That's a lot. We try and keep them right around 2. So usually it's like 10 to 14 that she has to confirm. She gets paid a commission on every sale for confirming that customer is going to be there. If we don't get it confirmed, we actually overbook every time slot so we can slide somebody else in the event of a cancellation or whatever. We also, when they book, they're asking people, hey, do you have a pretty open schedule? I know we're booked out 3 or 4 days, but we do have people that cancel last minute, and could we slide you in? Yes. So we have a never-ending list of that, and they jump on it and they fill that slot when somebody cancels. So this is a very intense position. It is a very revenue-generating position. Instead of having gals up front, guys or gals, watching their phone and watching stupid TikToks or Snapchatting all day or whatever, I now have, it's 2 girls who are on the phones all day, every day. One of them actually shows up with her baby, all right? She's amazing. She's a 24-year-old gal. And through her interview, she was like, it's really important to me that I can bring my baby to work. And that might sound weird, but she's like, I just don't trust people. And I don't want to put her in a sitter right now. It's her formidable years. And this baby, I think, is like 5 or 6 months old. So she's freaking adorable. And it's really cool having a baby in the office. All right. So she's like playing mom while still pounding the phones. And it's amazing to watch. All right. So she's getting after it. But that's what we do. Every dollar they make is hinged on them actually earning it. All right. So we pay them that minimum wage just to cover our butts legally. But then majority of their income is based off of their booked leads. Right. Now we've got all the SOPs and all this fun stuff. Like, it's not for the faint of heart. All right. This is not the job that you hire old Miss Susie for because she's got the sweetest voice and she's grandma and all this fun stuff. Right. Like, they got to be a little bit pushy, all right? And they got to be willing to do the hard things that nobody else really wants to do. We, for instance, like an Angie's lead comes in, we call it 3 times back to back to back, all right? Like, boom, goes to voicemail, boom, goes to voicemail, boom, goes to voicemail, then we leave a voicemail, then we shoot a text, and then we wait an hour, and then we do the same thing, all right? We do that 3 times in a day. We call someone 9 times in a day. That's really annoying, all right? You have to be ready for the customer to be like, what the hell do you want? Why do you keep calling me? Oh, you actually submitted a form saying that you wanted a gutter estimate. Like, I thought I was just trying to like help you out. I thought you needed my services. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, right? Like they got to be good at this. They got to be able to de-escalate and help the customer, all right? So that's how it goes. That's why we got rid of admin positions. I was tired of watching people up front just sitting on their phones, right? Try and find stuff for them to do, whatever, but ultimately it all just has to be tied to dollars, and you have to have salespeople in your organization. We, in the last month, have turned everybody in our company into sales reps. Our technicians, our CSRs, our obviously sales reps, our management team, everybody is always selling for our company. Everybody drives a wrapped vehicle. Everybody is wearing company attire all the time, company hats, you name it. People are always out selling. We've incentivized the snot out of self-generated leads, like for gutters, instead of 11% for house commissions, we pay 18% for a self-generated lead. I got dudes knocking doors now, all right? If their appointment ends early, they're going and knocking doors to try and get some self-generated leads, all right? Like, that's how this works, all right? So never hire an admin again. You do not need an admin. And this all clicked for me. I was at an LB Capital, like just a dinner. This was at the International Roofing Expo in Vegas. And I was like, oh, you know what? I want to go to this thing. It's a free event that Lance Bachman's putting on. And I went there, and his sales team, they're awesome. Shout out to them. But it was a sales event. Like, hey, we want you to come to our mastermind. We want you to join our winner circle, all this stuff, right? And Josh has just pounded me, and I love Josh. He's a great kid, a great young man, sorry. And anyways, I get to talk to Kelly, who is like the president of LB Capital, COO. She kicks butt and takes names. And she goes, well, tell me about your company structure right now. And I was like, yep, I've got 2 admins. She goes, admin's not a real position. Fire them. And I was like, you're right. Admin is not a real position. There's no need for an admin. Why do I have them? And she goes, yeah, they need to be income producing people. Every position in all of our companies are income producing people. And I was like, damn. There we go. Now we've got it. Now, if you grow to a point like I have where you want an executive assistant, somebody to handle, like, I hate emails, y'all. I absolutely hate them. I pay somebody to go through my emails. I hate property taxes and whatever else, right? Like, that's not fun for me to handle that stuff. That kills me. That kills like my vibe and my energy and everything. So I pay somebody to do that, all right? It's called an executive assistant. That is not your office admin. You do not let your office admin pay your personal bills and all that stuff, all right? That is someone that is an executive assistant, all right? So that can look a little bit different. You gotta get to a certain net worth and income level and all that stuff to be able to do something like that. But that is the level you should be striving for. All right, so never hire an admin again. Turn them into CSRs, turn them into income producing assets inside of your company so that you can sell this dang thing. All right, kick some butt, take some names.